We're going to go through the list of do's and don'ts.
Yes, starting with measuring.
Yes.
Everybody's afraid of this little tool, and it's such a friendly little tool, but you really do want to measure your entryways, your staircases if you're considering a big mattress or a sofa.
Yeah.
Staircases because items don't turn so easily. Elevators, if you live in a condo, how many times have we seen clients try to deliver something, a big sofa or something, and the elevator's not tall enough to accept it? So really important to do your measuring, no question about it. Then you want to make sure that you're looking at the item online. Walk around your home and look at it in several different scenarios and make sure the color kind of works with other colors you already have going on. Don't just fantasize about it at work and hit buy. Right, because that's what happens, like impulse, right?
I want it.
One shot of tequila, new carpet. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's happened here. So this person decided, I need a rug. I love this pattern. I'm going to buy this rug. The rug shows up. This is the rug. This is the sofa. So follow me here. The sofa's here and the actual rug is here. The two are not touching.
Right. It's very hard to tell size from a photo because it's relative, right? You could have a, so in this case, the sofa that was online, we measured out a sofa that we found online. Turns out that ain't a sofa, people. That's like a bench. Right. Or it's a settee. So one word of caution, JC was saying here, one of the producers was saying that if you're going to sit in it, if you're going to lie on it, don't buy it online. Go and find a store and sit in it or lie in it. That's very important. But it does help people to tape things out sometimes. If you're not good with plans or whatever, do a tape. In this case, we know that an 8x10 carpet is a better size for this particular living room, and we're just showing you what a smaller carpet looks like. As a general rule, the bigger the carpet, the bigger the space looks, period.
Right. So we should have done the tape and we would have gotten the 8x10.
You would have gotten the 8x10. So measure, measure, measure. You know the expression, right? Yes. Measure twice, cut once. You know, this is going to save you a lot of grief. The other thing is to look high and low. I did a little sketch of a drawing where the door actually swings into the light fixture. And I was very familiar with the scenario because we rented a place in Cape Cod and my daughter opened the door and it slammed into a lantern and light shattered everywhere. And then they wanted us to buy them a new light fixture. So I'm like, really? That's not where it should be hanging. So make sure you check how tall a light fixture is hanging wise, right? Sometimes they also have a fixed arm instead of a chain. So you're limited to that and only that size in terms of how high or how low it's going to hang. So that matters. Also, check how thick a carpet is. You know, if you're living in a condo, often the front door, the entry door, has about nano flash of space, right? Because they want to keep the airflow in the unit separate. So often the carpet can't even go over that door. So you spend all this money on a carpet, it arrives, and you can't open the door on top of it. It's a problem. So, and the thing that I found too, make sure you always inquire whether or not something is pre-assembled or if you're going to do the assembly. Assume you're going to have to do some assembly, right? So I thought, I'm hip, I'm going to buy some bar stools online because, you know, I'm cool that way. I bought them, I hated them, they were so uncomfortable and miserable. So we put them together, we sat in them and said, ugh, I hate them. I went to return them. It was more expensive to return them than to purchase them. So I put them downstairs at the condo and said, help yourself, very uncomfortable bar stools. You're on, you know, then they were gone immediately. So do check the return policy because if you're on the hook for returning it, sometimes it's just not worth it. And finally, it is fun to shop online. It's never going to go away. It's great. But you do want to make sure you keep local stores in business as well. Like think about those neighborhood shops that you love to walk by and look in the windows. They're all going to be gone if we don't support them. And I think home decor is one of those areas where most of your shopping is going to be brick and mortar. That's very true. So we went to get exterior lights for our front porch, the new front porch, and I wanted something substantial, and I went online. It was online for a big box store, and I was so confused about the measurements that I actually cut the circumference out of construction paper, my daughter's construction paper, stapled it together, and they were all about this big. Teeny tiny, right? Teeny tiny. Yeah. And I would not have known. And finally, I did one that was this big. Right. And I'm like, that's the one I'm going to get. Exactly. But you don't know unless you measure. Yeah. So I can't say enough how measuring it. Planning, it always comes back to planning. It's always about planning. Like every single thing that we do comes back to planning. And the other thing is impulse buys very often end up being a very bad idea when it comes to home decor. It's not like, you know, buying happy socks and you use them for a couple seasons, no big deal. You buy a happy sofa, you're kind of stuck with it for a really long time. So avoid the impulse buying and no, you know, like drunk dialing, no drunk shopping.
No drunk shopping.
Never.
Put it down.